Welcome to section 16.7. This is the 171st session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll cover how to change systems without breaking them. We'll answer several questions. Why does change management exist? How does one small change trigger an outage? What are the steps in a change process? How do you handle emergency changes? And what do versioning and configuration documentation add? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because most self-inflicted outages start with a well-meaning change. Picture an engineer who tightens one firewall rule on a Friday afternoon and quietly severs the link between a web app and its database. By Monday, the help desk is drowning and nobody knows why. Change management is the discipline that catches those side effects before they reach production and leaves a trail so you can undo the damage. So why does change management exist? Its primary goal is simple. Make sure changes do not cause outages. Every change should be reviewed and approved by the right people, then tested and documented before it goes live. The danger is that changes ripple. Fix one system, and you can unknowingly break another. Unauthorized changes strike straight at availability, the last letter of the core triad. A proper process gives experts the chance to spot unintended side effects first, and gives administrators room to check their work in a safe environment before touching production. How does one small change trigger an outage? By solving a local problem while creating a hidden one somewhere else. Picture a web server that talks to a database through a specific firewall port. A diligent administrator spots that open port, assumes it is a risk, and closes it. The web server instantly loses its path to the database. Now, tickets pile up, developers chase phantom bugs, database admins get pulled in, and hours vanish before someone realizes a needed port got shut. That is the whole case for review. A second set of eyes would have caught the dependency before it caused the outage. What are the steps in a change process? A clean sequence that keeps every change controlled and reversible. First, someone requests the change, usually logged so it can be tracked. Second, experts from different areas review it, sometimes through a formal change advisory board. Third, they approve or reject it and record the decision, often demanding a rollback plan. Fourth, they test it, ideally on a non-production system, to surface problems early. Fifth, they schedule and implement it during low-impact hours, rollback plan in hand. And sixth, they document it so everyone knows what changed and any rebuild can restore that state. Notice the balance running through it. Sometimes you knowingly weaken security for usability, and this process forces you to weigh that trade openly rather than by accident. How do you handle emergency changes? Fast, but never in the dark. When an attack or malware outbreak is taking systems down, an administrator may have to act immediately to contain it before any board can meet. That is fine, but the paperwork still follows. You document the emergency change afterward, so the review board can examine it for lingering problems, and so the new configuration survives if the system ever has to be rebuilt. Speed does not excuse you from the record. The trail is what turns a frantic fix into a repeatable, reviewable action. What do versioning and configuration documentation add? They give you memory and a way back. Versioning is version control for software. A labeling scheme that separates one build from another, like a small update stepping from 1.0 to 1.1, and a major overhaul jumping to 2.0. Skip it. And one careless change can silently break an application with no way to trace what happened. Configuration documentation records each system's current setup, who owns it, its purpose, and every change layered onto the baseline. Keep it current, but remember one trap. If you store it only in a file on the very system that goes down, it is useless exactly when you need it most. So let's bring it together. Change management exists to stop changes from causing outages, protecting availability. A single well-meaning tweak can ripple into a major failure, which is why review by fresh eyes matters. The process runs from request through review, approval, testing, scheduling, and documentation, always with a rollback plan. Emergency changes may skip ahead, but never skip the record. And versioning plus configuration documentation give you the history and the roadmap to recover when something goes wrong. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.